All right, shalom, shalom, and good morning, Boaz here. Well, out here on this beautiful day, about to get after it, but sometimes a shepherd likes to come out in the morning time and meditate and spend time with the flock and get your mind right. The idea is that one of the most peaceful things that I do or activities that I engage in when it comes to my meditation and personal health is just coming out here and just sitting down and just watching the flock. I mean, just it's just nothing like that feeling of peace and tranquility. Tranquility. Listen to this. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? But all right. So what I wanted to talk about real quick is credit and the notion of the credit score, uh, and this debt-based society that we are living in now. Uh, First, I must say, or I will say that my wife has a 700 plus credit score, and so do I. How did we get it? We got it through not being in debt and paying our bills on time. But the idea is this: I've never been much for debt. I've never been much for just owing anybody anything because I clearly understood what the scripture says that the borrower is a servant to the lender, and the rich ruleth over the poor. And this is exactly what we are having, what we're dealing with today. We're dealing with a society that is trillions of dollars in credit card debt, trillions of dollars in student loan debt, trillions of dollars in mortgage debt. You just everybody's just in debt up their eyeballs, and it seems like the solution of the least and the solution of the everybody is get into more debt. I understand. I get it. In order to operate in this world, uh, if you are not set apart, is if you have to have a good credit score to get a job because you have to go and work for them. You have to have a good credit score to get a mortgage or buy um, a home because you don't have the money to just save and just put out and go ahead and do that. You have to get a mortgage or you have to get a note on your car because you just can't just save and put out, right? So I understand that the average American, average person, cannot do these things. So therefore, they need credit. I mean, you cannot get a job without credit. Good credit score. I mean, a lot of people, and I'm talking. I don't think they check your credit score at Walmart if you're a CNA or something like that. But any good paying job, they're gonna check your credit. Especially if you're in financial services, anything. I had a Series 6, I had a Series 63, I have a Series 26, I had a PMP, project management professional, Six Sigma Green Belt. Get these jobs in addition to the certifications. They want to make sure that you can tend to your affairs economically because you're dealing with accounts, you're dealing with company money. So I get and understand the notion that if you're going to be a part of this world, you're going to have to be able to uh, have good credit. But I look at credit today, and I use the personal experiences that my wife and I have had. Like my wife, she's in no debt. Her college, she has no college debt. She has no student loan debt. She has no credit card debt or anything like that because she doesn't have to work. Her responsibility is to tend to the affairs of the home and to be my helpmate. Nowhere in scripture do I find where you're supposed to send your wife out uh, to work. Now, if you're a heathen, if you're a Gentile, if you're a pagan, if you're dependent on this system, then you go ahead and do that. I got no problems with that. I'm talking about uh, from a scriptural, historical, cultural perspective, we do not send our wives out to work for other men. So, ever since we've been married, she's never had to work. Uh, that's my responsibility. And we both have excellent credit. Now, the interesting thing about her is that, her credit score is higher than mine. And I'm wondering why is if she doesn't have a job or anything like that, she can't pay. They can verify, through social security numbers and stuff like that if somebody's employed or somebody's filed a W-2 or things like that, right? So, uh, she begins to get more credit card offers. But these credit card offers are very interesting. They'll offer her a $500 credit limit with a $100 initial payment and a 23% interest rate on the card. Uh, did you hear what I said? She's supposed to have excellent credit, right? So why are they giving her such low credit offers? Uh, and she does have credit cards in my name. We did where you take, I forgot what it's called. You put your wife on your credit card and she, so it builds up her credit as you pay your credit. So that's how we did that. But, they're offering these high interest rates on these cards. And I thought that the whole purpose of having a good credit score was that you can have low interest, you know what I'm saying? No interest, things of that nature. You can enjoy all of the perks. But it seems as though these credit cards I don't know. Maybe it's something different. Maybe it's something else going on in addition to this 750, 800 credit score, whatever that they're giving out. Right. But I thought that the whole part is that, you can get better interest rates and things of that nature. But that doesn't seem to be the case. That doesn't seem to be working out that way. Now, me personally, my attitude is that, if I'm going to swipe it, I better make sure that I have the money to pay for it within or by 20 days. And the reason why I choose that 20 or 23-day mark is because if you pay the credit card, they don't charge no interest. You just pay what you used. And that's primarily how I use credit cards, is I'm constantly, going out, getting things for clients, and so I know I'm going to have that money. I know I'm going to have that money within 20 days or whatever. So I go ahead, buy the material up front, and just give them, a bill, and they give me cash. It's interesting how I can use the credit card to get cash just by charging all of the stuff and then taking the cash. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I use credit. But it seems as though, credit is still a scam due to the simple fact that they're giving all of these people great credit scores, right? But at the same time, charging people high interest rates. That makes no sense to me. Uh, but, the name of the game in this day and age is that, everybody's in debt. Uh, everybody's hooping and hollering, oh, I got a 700 credit score. And again, I use credit for short-term debt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in any debt really because it's always paid off. I don't live beyond my means. I don't buy things or obtain things that I know that I cannot pay for within a relatively short period of time. I just don't do that. That's just risky business. Uh, Even though that this stuff is what they would call short-term debt. You know what I'm saying? I leverage short-term debt. I don't leverage any long-term debt because of the interest. Now, if I'm supposed to have great credit and she's supposed to have great credit, according to the credit scores that they gave us, why is it that the interest that they're charging us on all of these credit cards with our excellent credit, why is it that they're charging us 23%, 25% interest? That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, again, I'm not a credit guru. All I know is what the scripture says. And seeking the old paths, they have worked for me. Being able to be debt free and financially independent, having no notes, and probably the lowest expenses of anybody that I personally know. Interesting, right? Lowest expenses. Why? Because when you are self-sufficient, you don't depend on this system. You ain't got to take all your disposable income and pay it towards debt, car notes, mortgages, things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? So the name of the game is to, just make sure that you're living this way, because when you live this way, you don't have all of those stresses. But I thought that, we were supposed to have all of this great credit, these scores, but they're charging these high interest rates. This is why I know that it's all a scam. And by seeking the old past in terms of how the word says how we should be conducting ourselves in this life, because we are supposed to be in this world, but not of this world, or of this world and not in this world, whatever way you want to understand it. But we're supposed to be set apart. So these Hebraic biblical philosophies and viewpoints and ways of thinking from a Torah perspective have worked immensely for me. And there's very few people that I know personally that I can say, can say that. Because, we're seeking the ways of the world. We're seeking how we can get over and do things on the backs of others. But the chickens always come home to roost. There's no such thing as free lunch. We have to understand that. And nobody takes out a loan thinking that they can't pay it off. It just doesn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks that they're gonna be able to pay off that car. Everybody thinks that they're gonna pay off that house note. They all think they're gonna pay it off, and then guess what? Boom! Something happens, and before you know it, it's all gone. Seek the old past when it comes to how you deal with your finances. Sure, you can leverage it, but hey, I'm not in the business of paying interest. So that's the name of the game. Build a business organically, and Yah will bless you. Put the labor in your hands. He will ensure that you have what you need to get things done. I mean, it's just a blessed life. I mean, I tell you, to be able to live a certain way and to not to be dependent on the system. But we're going to get after it. I got a kitchen to do, and I got a 1-bedroom conversion to look at. I mean, business is, it's just a beautiful thing. There goes my solar. And the last leg of this thing is definitely going to be my energy independence. Because once you get that, I'm talking about totally free to be clear-minded and sober-minded, to do the will of Yah, to continue on in a path that He's chosen you to continue on. I mean, it's just I guess you got to experience it to understand it.